Sisters, I'm back. I had an idea. I thought, let's read a chapter book. A chapter book. I know, crazy, huh? But I have this amazing book that I love that I read with my daughter when she was in kindergarten. We read a chapter a night, and she finished the whole series by the end of kinder. And she was so sad to see the last book go. But I thought, let's read the first one. So I'm going to record one chapter at a time, and you can follow along. And this is a really, really great classic. That means it's kind of old, but people love it. And this book is called My Father's Dragon. It's written by Ruth Stiles Gannett, also illustrated by Ruth Stiles Gannett. And you can see how old this book is. It's actually starting to fall apart, but we love it so much. So I'm going to read this to you. First, you got to see the map of the island of Tangerina and Wild Island. Look at this. We're going to be learning all about this wild place in this story. My Father's Dragon. And the author wrote this book for her father. Chapter 1. My Father Meets the Cat. One cold, rainy day when my father was a little boy, he met an old alley cat on his street. The cat was very drippy and uncomfortable, so my father said, "Wouldn't you like to come home with me?" This surprised the cat. She had never before met anyone who cared about old alley cats. But she said, "I'd be very much obliged if I could sit by a warm furnace and perhaps have a saucer of milk." "We have a very nice furnace to sit by," said my father, "and I'm sure my mother has an extra saucer of milk." My father and the cat became good friends, but my father's mother was very upset about the cat. She hated cats, particularly ugly old alley cats. "Elmer Elevator," she said to my father, "if you think I'm going to give that cat a saucer of milk, you're very wrong. Once you start feeding stray alley cats, you might as well expect to feed every stray in town, and I am not going to do it." There's his mother scolding him, and there's the kitty cat drinking the milk from the saucer. This made my father very sad, and he apologized to the cat because his mother had been so rude. He told the cat to stay anyway, and that somehow he would bring her a saucer of milk each day. My father fed the cat for 3 weeks, but one day his mother found the cat's saucer in the cellar, and she was extremely angry. She whipped my father and threw the cat out the door. But later on, my father sneaked out and found the cat. Together they went for a walk in the park and tried to think of nice things to talk about. My father said, "When I grow up, I am going to have an airplane. Wouldn't it be wonderful to fly just anywhere you might think of?" "Would you like to fly very, very much?" asked the cat. "I certainly would. I'd do anything if I could fly." "Well," said the cat, "if you'd really like to fly that much, I think I know of a sort of way you might get to fly while you're still a little boy." There's his father, Elmer, and the cat. "You mean you know where I could get an airplane?" "Well, not exactly an airplane, but something even better. As you can see, I'm an old cat now, but in my younger days, I was quite a traveler. My traveling days are over, but last spring, I took just one more trip and sailed to the island of Tangerina, stopping at the port of Cranberry. Well, it just so happened that I missed the boat, and while waiting for the next, I thought I'd look around a bit. I was particularly interested in a place called Wild Island, which we had passed on our way to Tangerina. Wild Island and Tangerina are joined together by a long string of rocks. But people never go to Wild Island because it's mostly jungle and inhabited by very wild animals. So I decided to go across the rocks and explore it for myself. It certainly is an interesting place, but I saw something there that made me want to weep. And that's the end of chapter 1. What do you think he saw? What do you think inhabited means? He said that the island was inhabited by very wild animals. And what do you think about Elmer's mom? She doesn't seem to like cats very much, does she? So many things to think about. Well, that was chapter 1 of My Father's Dragon. Make sure you come back for chapter 2.